last album. Isn't that for every band?
Yeah, pretty much.
That wasn't an enlightening statement there, Roger.
But it's probably, I think this last one they're putting out is probably going to be their last one. I don't see them doing any more. I don't know.
Ace Frehley releases cover of Deep Purple's Space Truckin' from Origins Volume 2. Have you heard it?
I've heard some of it. I didn't listen to the whole thing.
It's not bad. I actually like it. He kind of rocks it up a little hard and changes the lyrics a little around to be the Space Ace kind of thing. But I like it.
Oh, cool. Well, yeah, you said you got a copy of it, so.
Yep. You'll hear it next week here on Rock and Metal Revival.
There you go.
All right, Jeff Scott Soto, you don't really work with Yngwie, you work for Yngwie.
Yeah.
Or you feel the fury.
Yeah, exactly. Don't want the fury unleashed.
I did like the album that Yngwie did with Jeff Scott Soto.
Oh, yeah, the one with the lyrics. Yeah, that was a good one.
All right, new Ozzy Osbourne documentary, The 9 Lives of Ozzy Osbourne, gets official premiere date coming up September 7th at 9 p.m. on A&E. I'll be watching that.
Yeah, I might have to check that out.
I love Ozzy, man. There's not a day that goes by that I don't hear some Ozzy in my life. Let me see. Armored Saint to release a new album in October. That's great news.
Oh, I thought you'd like that.
Where was that band? Do you know? I just can't. I don't get it. I love John Bush's vocals. I don't understand how that band got by me back in the day.
No.
I guess being in Wisconsin, they didn't market Armored Saint to us.
Nope, I don't think they did.
All right. Ex-Black Sabbath singer Tony Martin says his new solo album is everything he could have wished for. Well, I hope to have him on the show.
Yeah, we got to work on that. That'd be kind of cool.
I'll get on that. Scorpions reunite at Hanover Studio to resume work on their new album next week on the show. I'm going to talk to Klaus-Meine.
No way. The Klaus-Meine?
The Klaus-Meine.
No way. No way. That's like one of the biggest things ever, dude.
It's going to happen.
Wow.
Trust me. Wow. Dave Mustaine says new Megadeth album is coming along great. Ooh. We heard about that from Dave Ellison months ago, Dave. You're behind the times.
Yeah, now he's just talking to people. Huh.
Yeah. Rick Emmett on upcoming Triumph documentary. There's a surreal nature to it. Can you imagine if they made a documentary about your life? That would be weird.
That'd be like a 5-minute movie, and it would suck.
Yeah, well, kind of like if you did porn.
Yeah. Well, that'd be like a 3-minute movie there, dude. Come on.
Yeah, and the credits would run for the first minute and a half.
Yeah. Right.
Ohio club where Dimebag was murdered could be turned into affordable housing.
Like they're just going to tear it down.
Why don't they just bulldoze it?
That's what they're going to tear it down and put up something else, I think.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that either way.
Rudy Sarzo says there's no blueprint anymore for success in music industry. Yeah, the music industry ain't what it was 30 years ago.
No, it's definitely changed, and now it's changed even more. So, yeah. You can't really give advice on what to do now because nobody knows.
Go play live, people. Sell your CDs at the shows. Pantera launches Cowboys from Hell collection in celebration of album's 30th anniversary.
Ooh, that should be cool. Maybe
that's very cool. Wolfgang Van Halen on his debut solo LP. It's not a Van Halen album.
See, I want to hear some of this. I'm really interested to hear what he comes up with on his own.
Yeah, me too. And he goes, don't expect like all of a sudden hear Dave singing on it, or Al playing drums, or his dad coming in and doing a guitar riff. Yeah. Not happening. And last but not least, Steel Panther Styx Adenia defends Chris Jericho over lip-singing allegations.
Who sticks it in you?
Yeah, what?
Who sticks it in you?
Steel Panther.
Oh, they do. Yeah. They love to do that.
Yep. They're defending Jericho over the lip-syncing allegations. Because he is an effing rock star.
Oh, yeah, him and Sebastian Bach having that feud about
You know what? It's supposed to get them publicity.
I know. It's getting their names out there.
Exactly.
But it's funny. Either which way.
All right. Well, that winds up Talking Real Metal. Coming up next hour, it's Mike LaPond talking with Jerry right here on Rockin' Metal Revival. Right there is the latest single from the Scorpions. It's called Sign of Hope. And I'm really digging hearing some new Scorpions music here on Rockin' Metal Revival. And we want to welcome, we've been trying to get him on the show for a long time, the lead singer of the Scorpions, Klaus-Meine, to the Revival. Welcome to the show, Klaus.
Hi, Greg. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
First off, let's talk about this latest single, Sign of Hope. Once again, a song of hope for the hard rock generation from the Scorpions. Tell us a little bit about this song.
Yeah, actually, we were on the road earlier this year, like in Australia and Southeast Asia, and when we came back home in March, so the coronavirus, the pandemic just started and was getting worse every other week. And we changed from the lockdown modus into the creative modus, and we kept going in the studio, in our own studios at that point back in March, working on new material, new songs. And it was so sad to watch the whole world, what was going on, the whole dramatic of the pandemic, and it was also touching to see the music community, joining together, doing a lot of projects together, writing songs, and that was exactly the way Sign of Hope came out. Just a little song straight from the heart in troubled times.
Well, and in that last question, I said once again. Now, I remember the impact of Winds of Change had during its time in history, and I can remember that video of the song with you in the square there. Could you have imagined when you were doing that video in the song what the situation would be today?
Like when we did Wind of Change?
Yes.
Well, no way. This is like 30 years ago, and back then, growing up not too far away from the Berlin Wall, and growing up in the Cold War, and this was like a whole new generation was there, and it was a positive outlook into the future, and 30 years later, it's a total different world today, and, it was amazing to see that when the Berlin Wall came down in '89, so all of a sudden there were no borders with the unification, Germany reunification, and then of course the European Union, and so all of a sudden we could travel. There were no borders, and so on and so on. And now, so many years later, with Corona, with the COVID-19 pandemic, what we see is the borders are closed again, and we're right now working on a new album, like I said, with our American producer Greg Fiedelman in Los Angeles, and we cannot travel to the States, and he can come over here, and the borders everywhere pretty much closed, even though like right now over here in Germany it's losing up a little bit, but who would have thought like 30 years ago, like we would see a situation like this, where the borders are closed again, and
exactly.
It's for the young generation today, they don't know what it's like to especially here in Europe. You go to Italy, you go to Spain, you go to France, and every country is a different currency. It's like traveling. Also for the bands that came over from America to be on tour here in Europe, so it's such a different world. All of a sudden, no more borders, and the outlook into a more peaceful world, into a peaceful future. This was what Wind of Change was all about. And today it's a whole different world, especially after September 11th, The world changed, and I thought I never would see anything like this, what we go through right now. The whole world in this lockdown with the coronavirus, This is pretty bizarre, and especially for the world of musicians, the world of culture. It's tough because we are all locked away from our audience, from our fans.
Exactly. Now, Klaus, I've been a Scorpions fan for many years, and I always enjoyed the hard driving guitar sounds of the Scorpions. And now you were just talking about a new album. Is that the kind of sound, a little harder edge, that we're going to hear on this new album?
Yeah, well, it's so funny in a way. We talk about Sign of Hope, and it's such a very soft almost like a folky kind of little ballad, and at the same time we're talking about making a new album. But working together with Greg Fidelman, who used to work with Metallica, Slipknot, you can imagine this next album, we focus much more on the harder edge of the band, and we try to go back to the 80s, Blackout, Animal Magnetism, Love at First Sting. We try to find the old spirit again, to find the old Scorpions DNA. I mean, it's so many years ago. If we can achieve that, who knows? You know, that's a tough call. It's a challenge. I mean, anyway, it's a challenge to make a new album in 2020, with or without Corona. But when we made the decision, we've been touring so much all over the world in the last couple of years, and so everybody had the feeling it's about time for new songs, and we didn't want to go into the vault again and picking some songs that were written back in the 80s. This album, it's all brand new stuff, all new songs, and we were very picky this time to really focus on that stuff that made the Scorpions the Scorpions, and that means harder edged album, songs that are all written by the Scorpions, no outside writers this time, and hopefully it's going to be a great album. Until now, we have a great set of songs, and unfortunately the situation going on with the project, the whole COVID-19 pandemic makes it a little difficult for us to go to America right now, and also the other way around for somebody like Greg Fidelman, our producer, to come over here to Germany, So we've been working the whole month of May. We were in the studio here, and we had Greg Fidelman joined us via Zoom, every night. For us, dinner time. For him, it was breakfast in L.A. After breakfast, Greg joined us, and we talked about the song. And then when he hung up, then we worked on the stuff. And the next day, we sent him the files to L.A. And and fortunately, with all the technologies, it's all, you can do it. It's not you have to sit and wait until this is over. We made some pretty good progress in the last couple of weeks, but now it's the point we're all ready to keep working together with Mickey D, our new drummer who joined us from Motorhead like in 2016, and Pavel Macivoda, our bass player. He lives in Poland. Mickey is in Sweden. So it's all like the drum tech is in Brazil. Guitar technique is in the UK. So it's very difficult to get all these people together. So far it's been Rudolf, Matthias and myself, and so we've been working through the songs together with Greg and Hans Martin, our engineer. So, and it feels pretty good, we're ready to go. And of course the overall plan is, since we had to postpone the Vegas shows in July, which is actually right now. We were supposed to play the first show the 4th of July, your very special celebration in the U.S. And unfortunately it will all postponed to next year. But when we come back next year, we'll not only play Vegas, we also want to do a tour everywhere in the U.S., and of course we hope we come back to Milwaukee. It's about time, I think.
Yes, it is about time you come back to Milwaukee. You talked about Mickey D there for a bit, coming over from Motorhead. What has Mickey brought to the Scorpions in just in terms of his drumming? Is he involved in the songwriting? How much of a part is he playing in this new album?
I mean, he brought in much of fresh energy, It's really like a fresh shot of energy with Mickey. So far, he's not been part of the songwriting process, but we haven't seen Mickey since when we returned from Singapore in March, but I know we talked about it, and he said he has some material, and will be interesting to hear what he comes up with, but there's lots and lots of songs right now, but we're always wide open for great new songs, and let's see what the cat will bring in.
Exactly. Klaus, with the longevity and the great career that you've had with the Scorpions, I bet you've got a lot of great stories over the years. Is there any thoughts about you maybe writing a book about your time in the Scorpions?
Yeah, absolutely. And I had a few offers myself a few times, but so far it's been always